Traders, we're looking at S&P 500 and mini futures. The time frame is 2000 tick chart, and as you guys can see, there was an uptrend working higher that around the open created a break of this uptrend and the new high was formed. So according to trendline rules, this is now indicating that there may be a time for correction or possibly straight up reversal, and a strong push below EMA is indicating reversal. Now, since the market is pushing lower like this, I'm expecting to get reversal pattern, which would be failed second entry long below EMA. But you guys can see there was no failed second entry long below EMA forming. Price just strongly pushed below EMA, and now we got failed second entry long, but it is so far away from EMA. After such a substantial move down, I want to catch the failed second entry long while the downtrend is starting. So at this point on, this is a bearish structure. I'm just going to adjust my trend line to make it slightly wider. We have a bullish structure working higher. Exponential moving average is pointing up. We are making series of higher highs, higher lows. So at this point on, I'm anticipating to get a high probability setup at the key entry point. But as you guys can see, this is a runaway trend. The market is not offering any decent pullback to exponential moving average. We haven't touched EMA since we pushed higher. So I've just been waiting and sitting here on my hands because there is just no good setup that I would like. There was a failed second entry long. It was too far away from EMA. Then a second entry short form, but it was too far above EMA. I need to see it to push below. I didn't like to go long just yet. Then we pushed below EMA and we almost had a lower high, but we never got triggered below this lower high. And by that point, there was a bullish stem at the bottom, so no trigger here as well. No good reversal pattern. Market is very volatile, but I have yet to see a chance to get some decent setup apart from the early ones. So let's see, we have a micro break and a new extreme. All right, traders, I'm resuming the video as we have a second entry long here forming. So I'm going to drop my limit order further back. Let's see if we can sneak in. And we missed the entry. We can still... I was trying to play it safe. The bars are quite big today. And we had a shortened downtrend in place. So for that reason, I tried to sneak in with the limit order. And I was banking basically on the strong bullish momentum. So you guys can see it barely made scalp. This is why we have to respect these shortened trend lines, but I figured it was so worth it despite the fact that we finally touched the EMA. It even broke lower first and then pushed higher. This is why I really like going long here. All right, we just had a second entry long counting off the highs and counting off the bottom, which is where I reset the count because it looks like micro double bottom. First entry short, second entry short failure. And this is the first high probability setup for the day. But you guys can see I almost entered it, but it closed doji below exponential moving average. Had it closed above EMA with the bullish body, this would have been a great entry, but my signal bar ended so bad I scratched the limit order and I didn't even enter. But this is the first decent setup that I saw for today. I was staying away from this mess. I needed to see for price to break out of this mess, but since it confirmed the bigger channel and it pushed above EMA, which confirmed the overall bullish momentum, second entry long and a failed second entry short, two high probability setups in one. We had a break and a new extreme form for this major uptrend. Also, the shortened trend line had a break and a new extreme, so both trends had new extreme. You guys can see how wide this double top is. Notice how trend is failing to even reach the midline and we are losing steam here. This is what the wide double top represents. After we have a break and a new extreme, the trend is losing steam. I didn't want to go long here at all, but at the same time, I don't want to go short just yet, especially into this trend line, because you never know if you're going to make one last push above EMA, because the bias is still overall quite bullish. Look how we've been working hard the entire time. So I've just been sitting here patiently the entire time. There was quite a nice second entry short, quick little trap, but this trend line, even though it has a break and new high, overall bullish structure is still present, so we can still push above EMA and get a one last leg to a new extreme. So for that reason, we're actually pushing higher. So let's see if we can push higher and get a high low or failed second entry short here. All right, traders, I'm going to take a failed second entry short and a second entry long at the same time. The signal bar is not getting great, but I really want to take this entry right here. So I'm going to drop my limit order further back. I hope we can come back and fill my limit order. And I have to cancel the order. The signal, it was just way too big. But I was looking at downtrend played out with the break new low. We had a consolidating structure. Then we had a failed breakout to the upside, failed breakout to the downside. Strong push above EMA indicating bullish momentum. First entry short, second entry short failure. First entry long, second entry long. So this is the double setup in one. I was looking forward to go long even on this trade right here, but I resetted the count and I treated it as a high low. I wanted to see reversal pattern, but technically this high is slightly higher than this. So you had a first entry short, second entry short failure, nice bullish bar. So if you took this trade, a decent trade, because the overall bias is still quite bullish. I really don't think that this was a strong enough downtrend for us to start looking for shorts. And once we broke below this trading range, failed breakout, strong push above EMA, unfortunately the bar was too big for me to get in. All Alright traders, so the second entry long and I felt second entry short was way too big, but I'm going to take a higher low. Alright, so we got the high low here. And you guys can see I'm only going for scalps because I messed up my automatic strategy. I lowered my contracts and I unfortunately got rid of my scalp. I like the high-low confirmation of a second entry long and a failed second entry short confirmation of the reversal pattern. EMA kept holding price, the trend line kept holding price. And this is what these high-lows do. They confirm the high probability setups. And this one confirmed the second entry long and failed second entry short. But the second entry long already reached the scalp, yes. So I treated it mainly as it confirmed the reversal pattern. EMA kept holding price. And overall structure is still very bullish. And this downtrend played out with the break and multiple legs to a new extreme. So this is why I liked it. Unfortunately, I messed up my run. I was only going for 4 contracts. Bars were just way too big. And I went for 12 tick target profit, I believe. So when the volatility is out of control like this, I lower my size, I lower my contracts from 6 to 4, and I increase my target profit from 8 to 10 to 12. So I went for 12 ticks. Price created a break, new extreme formed, then price pushed strongly below EMA. We had a second entry long failure that was above the EMA, but the signal bar wasn't great and it's still a little bit too early to go short. Strong push below EMA, and sometimes you can get lower high confirmation of the failed second entry long, but it didn't happen close to EMA. It happened all the way down here. So for that reason, I'm not really taking this, but right now I'm a short bias. This downtrend is in play, uptrend played out, the bigger uptrend played out. We're coming from the range highs, strong push below EMA. So if I'm going to get a second entry short, I will definitely consider this. Alright traders, we have a second entry short forming off the major trend line. I was hoping for price to pull back that exponential moving average, but I'm really thinking I might have to enter this trade right here. New low, first entry short, second entry short. This bounce right here confirmed the major downtrend. We take higher reverse down. If this is going to end very bearish, I have to take it. Alright traders, price just formed a two-legged pullback to exponential moving average. But as you guys can see, we had a break and a big leg to a new extreme after this downtrend played out. So at this point on, I have two conflicting patterns. The move down was so strong that this is indicating a strong bearish momentum. At the same time, we just had a break at a new low and we are below this trading range. So right now, I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to take the second entry short, even though it was tempting. When I'm not sure in these situations, I just wait for a lower high because it seems too early to go long. This is really quite a bearish momentum after such a big leg down. So if we get the lower high here, a little breakout pullback from these stack bars, I will go short here, but right now I'm not looking for to go long. Alright traders, we didn't get the lower high, but we may get a failed breakout if it pulls back a lot, which... Alright traders, I'm preparing my limit order as we have second entry short forming, first break of this downtrend. So I expect new extreme form. We ticked higher, instant reverse down. EMA is holding price, downtrend needs a new low, downtrend is the structure, so the context is bearish. We'll see if with this second entry short we'll get a trigger. Signal bar is again quite large, but I have to take this entry if it triggers here. Uptrend played out with the break at a new high, 2 legs up. Let's see if we break below this bar, come on. And we have no trigger here. So I need to wait for a lower high if I'm going to enter short here. Right traders, so we have a potential double trap forming. We had a new first entry short, second entry short. We didn't get the trigger, you guys saw me. I cannot enter if we don't get the trigger, and the next bar is bullish bar like this. And they got stopped out who went short too early without the proper trigger, and everybody who went long too early in a downtrend got trapped again. So basically I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. This is looking like a textbook repeat pattern of this. Small little congestion, little break higher, break lower. Pullback, small little congestion, little break higher, and failed breakout and a double trap entry. Waiting for trigger. Alright, we got the small trigger, so I'm going to put my limit order a little bit back because the signal bar is really big. Come on. And we got fun. You guys can see how big the signal bar is still. But I like this trade so much. Double trap. a repeat pattern of this. Small little consolidation, fell breakout to the upside. First break for the downtrend. Downtrend needs to get the new extreme. Uptrend played out with the break and a new high. Even if I draw the trend line wider, now it has a break and a new extreme. Close below EMA, big bearish bar. I could have probably sneaked in with the limit order to get a little bit better entry. Second trade for the day. Let's see how it plays out. Repeat pattern of this right here. You guys saw me try to sneak in here, but this was way too big. Your stop loss has to, this is double bar entry, so yeah, over 10 points. Your stop loss has to go even one tick above this bullish bar. You cannot put your stop loss above the bearish bar. The part of a swing is still this bullish bar. This is the highest point in this swing. The same thing right here. I cannot put it one tick above this bar right here. I need to put it one tick above this bullish bar right here. Price is stalling here a little bit, but I like this trade a lot. It's not such a strong momentum like we had here. But context is so bearish. Downtrend is new extreme. Just repeating myself over and over again. So I'm following the rules. High probability setup. Second trade for the day. Come on. Actually, I'm going to go for 12 ticks here because the bars are really, really big. And we got filled. Perfect. So I'm going to move my runner at the lows. Textbook repeat pattern. And the same way right here. I cannot go short here because we just had a break and a new low. So I needed to get lower high. There was no lower high. And the same thing right here. You had a second entry short, but you don't get a trigger below this bearish bar. And then a bullish bar forms, indicating bullish momentum. No trigger below this bar right here. I have to wait and I have to be patient. All right, it looks like our runner is going to get stopped because we just had a break, new extreme formed. So according to trendline rules, this downtrend is over. We could keep continuing pushing lower, and I'm gonna call it the wrap. 2 trades is enough. The beginning of the day was really, really hard to read. I didn't see any decent setup. This one right here was the best, cleanest, but the signal bar ended bad and no real clean entry. I should have taken this higher low. I should have probably even pulled the trigger here because it was off the key entry point. But you guys can see when the volatility increases like this, I scale down a little bit. I went for 12 ticks because the bars are just ridiculously large. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.